Welcome to Virtual Done Well, and what's the topic for this week? I'm calling it VA Magical Moments, coming right up. So what's a VA magical moment, a virtual assistant magical moment? If you watched one of my previous videos about management style, I mentioned there's a couple of sort of extremes of management style. There's the micromanager, and then there's the really laid-back manager. And I have to say I'm kind of at the other end, which I know a lot of people don't like to be micromanaged. Being too laid back, apparently, according to my team, can be quite frustrating as well, because sometimes they need to know a little bit more about what's going on. But anyway, this week I wanted to talk about magical VA moments. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, if you've watched a few of the videos, you'll know a couple of things about Virtual Done Well and about me. One is I hate the term virtual assistant. I wish I could come up with a new term because there's nothing virtual about them. I like to call them remote employees or remote team members or something like that. And the other thing is that the team that we have at Virtual Done Well are very much like a second family to me. And we have a wonderful crew there. And I thought I would just share with you what I'll call some magical VA moments. And in fact, I've just thought of another one. And the purpose of sharing these is really just to give you some insights into what a really good relationship with a virtual assistant should be like. Don't sort of, and I bang on about this a lot, don't treat them like these bloody robots, on the end of an email. These are really genuine, committed people who are an integral part of your business, and you should treat them as such. So I'm just going to share some random sort of thoughts, and if you utilize the service of virtual assistants at the moment, maybe share some of your magical moments down below as well. I'm sure you've got some. So in no particular order, I suppose early on in the relationship with a new VA, and I use that term, even though I don't like it, because everyone knows what it means. A magical moment for me when I have a new staff member on board is the first time they say, I'm not sure how to do that, or I'm not sure what you mean. Now, why is that a good thing, do you think? It's a good thing, and I like to hear that because, hey, and for my team, don't you start saying all of that. I don't want to hear from everybody, what do you mean? But why is that a positive thing? Because if you are utilizing the services of virtual assistants based overseas, not in your country, maybe in the Philippines, India, somewhere like that, it's quite daunting for them to be dealing with a client the other side of the world. Maybe your language isn't their first language, and they really don't want to screw up, because they probably really need the job, and they're terrified about screwing up, upsetting you, and losing their job. And for them, therefore, to admit that they don't know how to do something or weren't sure what you meant is a really positive step. Why? Because it means they trust you. And I think in any working relationship, trust is the absolute foundation. So I can remember when I first started working with a virtual assistant, probably 10 years ago now, I was as nervous as she was because I didn't want to screw it up. I really desperately needed this support, and I wanted to make it work for her just as much as it was going to work for me. And every conversation we had in the early days, I'd be saying, any questions? Does that make sense? Feel free to ask questions. And it became a mantra, and after a few days, she would be coming back and say, I don't have any questions. And then, the questions would start to come through. So I see that as a really important signal that the relationship is one based on trust and that they're starting to trust you, which is really cool. So that's a magical moment. When you've been working with your virtual assistants for a while and that relationship has started to build up, they just become such an essential part of your team. I'll share a couple of moments. It was actually only a couple of weeks ago. We were having a meeting with a couple of my team, and we were talking about a particular marketing initiative we were going to do. And my digital marketing lead looked at me and said, I'll do that, Rob. I think it was, I forget what it was. Something had to be drafted, or edited or something like that. And she said, I'll do that, Rob. I said, what do you mean? She said, you look really tired. I'll do it. I thought, how sweet. You know, that was awesome. You know, that they sort of had that empathy that, you know, I was looking exhausted. Don't worry, I'll get it done. And the lady who offered to do that, I tell you, was one of the busiest in my team too. It's not like she had a lot of free time. The same lady, this was a couple of months ago, is also manages, you know, some other members of my team, particularly with online marketing and stuff like that. And we're going through a phase of upgrading our website, and there's a lot to be done. And this lady, again, at a quick sort of team meeting said, what do you think about if we did this on our homepage, Rob? And I said, that's a great idea. Really good. Get it done. She said, it's already done. I knew you'd say yes. So, bingo. You know, didn't want to sort of bother me with the data. We're kind of in the same mindset. You know, she didn't want to waste time because it took a while to develop. She got it done, kind of, you know, 99% sure that I'd agree with it. So that was great. I'd really, you know, a magical moment for me is when my team members want to learn new things. So actually we've just had a bit of a one-on-one catch-up with all of the team, talking about how they're going and stuff that they might want to try. You know, one of the team wants to sort of get into web design, so that's great. So, you know, you work with one of the web designers, you can start to learn that. You can help out. No, I won't mention that one because people know who it is. One actually wants to undertake some really significant study, which I will fully support. That's great. What other things have we got? Oh, magical moments. Magical moments are when we actually get to meet your virtual team face to face. And if you work with virtual assistants, I would so recommend that you try to do that at least once. So as well as having my own remote team based in the Philippines, I also have a business called Virtual Done Well, which provides virtual assistance to other small business owners and entrepreneurs. I've mentioned the reason behind that on another video. I should just say at this point, I have a number of very successful businesses. Virtual Done Well, our outsourcing business, is basically a not-for-profit. The reason I set it up is that I wanted to utilize the services of virtual assistants who were based in a business that was going to look after them well. And so I thought the only way I can guarantee that is to set one up myself. So that's where my team is based, Virtual Done Well in the southern Philippines. I'm always delighted when clients say, can we go and visit? The team love it. You know, because when clients come over, it shows that they're really being appreciated. Wherever your virtual assistants are based, I would suggest that at least once you go and visit them, visit their country, get to understand their culture. You know, they really appreciate it, and you will absolutely have a great time. I love going over. I don't get over as often as I should. I try to get over every year to visit our team. I'm actually lazy. I get them to come and visit me, but that's a different story. I get a few to come and stay with us. But I love to go over there and, you know, get out and into their local community and all the rest of it. So it's wonderful. Another magical moment, other than visiting the team, is seeing the things that make them tick and the things that kind of motivate them. And one of the awesome things that happens at Virtual Done Well, like all of our businesses, we part of our income goes to a number of different charities, and one that the team love to support, where we're based in Davao in the southern Philippines, is a Feeding the Homeless program. I was lucky enough last time I was there to participate in that. And basically, half a dozen of the team get together, we make up food parcels, we rent a jeepney for the night, and we go off with our operations manager who kind of knows where all the homeless people hang out. So as not to sort of make a spectacle of it or anything like that, I generally sit in the jeepney because some overweight white guy leaping out is going to scare them to death. But then, you know, the team sort of hand out these food bags and stuff to people. It's great. And to see how much it means to the team to be able to do that is awesome. You know, it's wonderful to help people in need, but to see the team wanting to do that and what they get back from doing it is absolutely wonderful. So, magical virtual assistant moments. Yeah, I think that was a few. So why am I mentioning some of these? Because I think some of those, and particularly, early on in the piece, in the relationship when you're working with a virtual assistant, when they start to ask you questions and if they're unsure about stuff, look out for these telltale signs, because that, to me, is a really good indication that the relationship's working well. That, you kind of end up relying on each other. You're helping them out, they're helping you out, and it's just such a rewarding relationship. And as a small business owner, entrepreneur, if you're not utilizing the services of virtual assistants, you should be, because they're just going to help you out so much. So thank you for watching. I did ramble on a bit. I've been doing that lately. If you have any comments, questions on this video or any others on the channel, or if you have any questions about utilizing virtual assistants, or I'm not going to put myself up as a small business guru, but if you've got any questions about being a small business owner, I'd love to hear those as well. And if you enjoy the channel, do think about subscribing. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified every time we have a new video coming out, and they come out on a Tuesday evening, Sydney time. So thank you for watching, and thank you for putting up with me, just sharing some of those magical VA moments. See you next week.